Regardless of the situation, people like to know that they're being heard, they're being seen, and they're being understood, right? And so even though you may already know what the solution is, if you jump to solution finding too quickly or a recommendation too quickly, you haven't built enough sort of rapport or sort of opportunity for that entry point, right? And I'll use an example from my own professional life, like when we work in career education and career development, it's identity-based work. So if you don't actually ask questions about who that person is and what they have to offer and the skills that they have, even though you may be able to see very quickly the kinds of things that they're good at or the way that they kind of structure the conversation, or their what their needs might be. They come in and are talking about a particular situation or scenario, and because of your years of experience, you might know this is probably where we're headed. You still need to let that conversation unfold because it's the first time they're experiencing it. It's the first time they're working with you.
Ah, hey there. Just taking a look at your pens. They're pretty fancy, huh?
Yeah, John, we actually have a full range of products, but yes, we try to showcase sort of the wide array of quality as well as options. So whether you're looking for something that's for day-to-day use or for something that's a little bit more tailored or has a perhaps a little bit more flash or flair to it, we can meet your needs. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about what you're looking for today?
Well, been struggling with writer's block lately, so I was hoping to find something to inspire me. But I'm also on a bit of a budget, so I don't know if I can afford anything here. What do you recommend?
So John, you're a writer. That's fantastic. And I understand, as you're going through the process, you want to have something that you feel inspired by, that you feel connected to, that maybe is going to help you tell the story that you're trying to craft or create. We have quite a few different options, and they meet, basically any budget that's out there. So you don't necessarily need to go to the flashiest or to the more upscale. We have things that are middle of the road, as well as something that's just your basic durable, long-lasting pen. So why don't we talk a little bit about sort of what you're looking to do with the pen? Are you looking to use it every day?
So while he's thinking there, Trevor, I have a quick question. So if he's saying he's a writer, could I ask him something like, or would you recommend I ask him something like, oh, like, is there a chance I've read something you've written, or try to ask about his work, or is that kind of like too sidetracking?
No, absolutely. I think kind of commending and asking questions about like what kinds of things they write is totally helpful. And in fact, I may even go there in the next sort of like phase, just to kind of again build that rapport and build a little bit of understanding of what he's trying to achieve.
Yeah, something like that. Just hoping to find a pen that really speaks to me, you know. Something that makes me want to write all day long. I'm not really sure what type of pen I want, but I do want it to fit my budget, you know.
So John, what kinds of things do you write? Tell me a little bit about that, and you can also let me know kind of what budget you were thinking of, and we can see if we can find something that fits within that, or I can make alternate recommendations based on what your needs are.
Oh, I write all sorts of things. Novels, short stories, sometimes even poetry. And as for my budget, I was thinking, around $495. Do you think I can find something decent for that price?
Absolutely, John. We have a range of products, as I mentioned, and I think, based on what you're describing and based on the uses, I would make a solid recommendation, and I think you might even find that it's under the budget that you're looking for.
So my gut reaction here, Trevor, and I know it's wrong, is to immediately say, oh, great, we have the Elegance ink fountain pen. It's our top of the line pen, and it's only $150. But I feel like that's a mistake. I'm just not sure why. What are your thoughts on that?
So I think with John, you want to present him with like an option like the middle of the road, and then upsell him to the $149.99. And the reason that I say that is because you're showcasing, hey, I heard you're budget conscious, and look, we found something that's pretty like going to meet your needs and that fits sort of where you're at. But, based on what you're describing about finding it inspirational, wanting to have something that you can look at and know that it's fueling your muse, if you will, giving him reasons to decide that the Elegance ink fountain pen might be right for him, versus just presenting that as the only option. You might get away with it because it's well below his budget, but again, I think it just demonstrates fluency and the ability to kind of navigate, which we'll use for the purpose of this demonstration.
Yeah.
I think you could really go either way, but my preference anyway would be to showcase, hey, we actually have something that fits run-of-the-mill everyday use, that it's well within your budget and that could sustain the level of writing that you're looking to do. But also, hey, like based on what you're telling me your needs are, I'm wondering if this might be like the option you truly want to consider.
That is really interesting, and a new technique for me. I haven't heard that sort of strategy laid out before. I'm really curious how that plays out. Thanks, Trevor. Let's see.
Okay, cool. I'm excited to see what you have in store for me. Can you tell me a little bit about the construction material and ink type of the pen you have in mind?
Absolutely. So I'll show you two options, John, that I think based on what you're describing might be a fit for you. So there's the Glide Pro Rollerball pen. It's aluminum, so it's constructed out of aluminum material. And we describe it as really having a stylish, precise, smooth ink flow. It's really comfortable to use. It has a nice ergonomic grip, and it's a gel pen. So you can actually choose really vivid colors. It's consistent in the writing. And it's only $19.99. So that's well under the budget that you were describing. So you could actually buy multiple if you chose, and get a wide array of colors. The other option that you could look at is our Elegance ink fountain pen. And it's definitely, that next level up. It's titanium, so it's incredibly durable. So you wouldn't need as many of them, John. So because of that construction, it's going to last. It's a water-based liquid, so it's smooth, vibrant, expressive, and it works best with quality paper. So depending on the journal or wherever you make your notes and guide things, you'll know that if it's of a higher quality, this paper works incredibly well. It's luxurious, it's handcrafted, it's customizable in terms of the nib option, so you can get that perfect fit for you. So if you were looking at a higher volume, more colors and a variety of choices, the Glide Pro may be your best bet. But if you were looking at the flashy and more inspiring, more sort of customized to you, you might find the Elegance ink is a great fit, particularly if you're looking for that high quality flourish in your writing.
That was an awesome answer, Trevor. And I would never have thought of the idea of, if you get the rollerball pen, it's well under budget, but now you can buy multiple pens in different colors, so you have this variety to choose from. I thought that was a really cool way to frame it, and it doesn't feel like, oh well, your budget's $4.95, so why don't you just buy 20 pens for the sake of it? Like that was really well positioned.
One approach, actually, and it's interesting as he's somewhat overwhelmed, let's put it that way, is that I gave him a ton of information. I probably could have paused with the Glide Pro and said, what do you think about that option? And then read and determined whether or not I even needed to proceed to the Elegance ink, or found a way to interject or introduce it. I went through two, and now he's like a little bit perplexed because it's sort of like, oh, I'm evaluating all of this information. It's actually, it's interesting that technology is behaving a little bit how sometimes even the human mind works. When we're trying to help, right? If we give too much, sometimes it's like, whoa, that's a lot. Let me think about it.
Oh, that's a good way to look at it, actually. Yeah, fair enough.
Wow, that sounds great. I think I'm gonna go with the Glide Pro Rollable pen. Can you show me some of the colors it comes in?
Hi, I'm Trevor's assistant, Imran, so I can show you the pens here. And they come in every color of the rainbow, and you can just try them on this scrap piece of paper you have.
Thanks so much for your help. Imran. I'm really excited to start writing with my new pen. Have a great day.
Okay, so that looks like it worked, Trevor. It looks like selling him multiple rollerball pens is. I learned some really cool tips from you, Trevor. There, one, of course, just keeping in mind that a customer might come in with a preconceived notion of what they think they need based on someone they know or someone in the field. And it's super important to ask them questions to make sure that you're getting them the product they actually need. I really liked this. I'm not sure what to kind of term this strategy, this technique you had of not jumping just straight to the most expensive option simply because it's in their budget, but telling them that, the mid-range option fits for these reasons. However, and maybe you could just distill that for me one more time. I'm trying to put it into my own words so I can remember, but how would you kind of summarize that concept?
I think a needs-based or solutions-focused approach is sort of the best way to think about it, is putting the customer in the center of the conversation and thinking about, hey, like there might be a variety of ways to think about or approach this that they themselves may not have even thought of. So you're providing a couple of scenarios or options that kind of fit based on what they're describing. And it makes, again, it helps build that understanding that they're being listened to and that they're being heard, and that you're taking into consideration a variety of strategies that can help them get where they want to go.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, again, thank you so much, Trevor, for the opportunity to learn from you as you went through this. And it's a pretty rare chance to get to interrupt someone and ask them questions while they're in the middle of a sale. So I really appreciate it. And congrats on the sale here. That's the biggest one of the week so far.
There we go. Absolutely. Thanks so much.